Hey guys, I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I want to show you this new mural that was unveiled for the 100th centennial of the race ride here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, also known as the burning of Black Wall Street. There's various themes in this beautiful mural. Matter of fact, the artist is a white man. He did a great mural of Harriet Tubman in Cambridge, Maryland, and I think that's how they knew about his work. But this is one of the themes right here of the deceased. About 300 blacks were carted off, thrown into the beds of different trucks and put in mass graves, or some people even said that maybe bodies thrown into the Arkansas River. Here's another theme of an airplane. This is the first time when an American airplane has been used against Americans on American soil. There have been reports that turpentine bombs were dropped on businesses and homes to burn them. This is the main theme right here that draws your eye. There's a mother and a wife who's clutching her husband who's deceased. See, the son is clutching and in disbelief as well, and the wife is looking up to the heavens, maybe even praying. But this is a very powerful picture, and Greenwood area was known for 2 movie theaters. This is the one, Dreamland Theater, that you've seen represented in a lot of pictures that are burnt. And you can see whites who were deputized, about 500 of them from the sheriff's department, to arrest blacks or kill them or loot their homes. And they're chasing some women, but it's a very powerful drawing. It's right here at the entrance of Greenwood.
To introduce you, that when you got the call to do this, you had no idea about this issue.
I had no idea. It was never taught to me. It was a blank. I had to look it up.
You were born and raised where?
I was born in 1959, raised in Florida, military family. Public schools, Florida State University. Never once, heard anything about it.
And how were you selected? Who chose you? How did that happen?
I think Randy Vaughn, the gentleman right there, knew my work, saw the Harriet Tubman mural.
Harriet Tubman mural where?
Harriet Tubman mural in Cambridge, Maryland, on the side of the Harriet Tubman Museum.
Got it.
And Visitor Center, or Educational Center. And again, it was, it was a powerful, powerful image of a powerful, powerful woman. That when you tap into the stories that you're telling, if I didn't get emotional, if I can't get emotional, I'm not doing my job, A. But B, as a human being, so out of the Harriet, as a human being, you have to experience it in order to feel the pain of the person and the people that you're conveying. But even as just human beings walking the planet, to understand why the black perspective has an issue with any of a number of things, and when you start to tell the story, you start to realize, the complete mistreatment and abuse of a race simply because of the color of their skin. It gets really heavy, and I don't say. I mean, I say that, but I mean, I feel it when I paint. Mm-hmm. And when Randy called me about doing it, and I think it was because of the Harriet Tubman mural, because for that one, it was the same thing. I don't take lightly that I'm a white man painting a black story, but I'm also a human being painting a human story, and that we should be able to tell each other's story, and the disadvantage to the black artist is that the white population is not hiring black artists to tell the white story, and I can attest to how much empathy and how much you learn about yourself and the people you're painting about by being asked to paint that story. So, and I think I try to convey that to my work, and I think that's probably why, in answer to your question, they asked me to paint it.
Take us through your process to visualize this. What research did you do?
Right.
How often did you travel here? Did you talk to people?
Right.
Just take us through that process.
I will. I had a lot of conversations with Randy and Dr. Crutcher about what it is they were trying to convey, what they wanted, me to to express through the painting. The amount of research, listening to podcasts, reading historical articles, just reading everything I could about what happened that day. I didn't have the opportunity to travel out here. I mean, this is my first time in Tulsa, but I think...
This is your first time here?
In Tulsa.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I think, that's the beauty, obviously, of the internet now, is that you can pretty much get a picture of what it is and what happened through all the documentation. But what you don't get is what you saw today, was that human level, that emotional level, and sometimes it just doesn't work that you can travel. Either you're working on other projects and getting out to meet the people face to face. It's not feasible. It may not be in a budget. At the same time, the beauty of the internet, again, Zoom. I can have a conversation with you over the internet, and at least I have contact with you, which I did with them. So, yeah, my first time here. And
so how did you settle? On this? And
Yeah.
so because you have the different.
Well,
So we're gonna get the microphone here.
for sure.
So just
Right. Yeah.
just stand on that side right there.
Okay.
So just explain the
Right.
different elements of this
Sure.
mural.
Well, when I was having the conversation with Dr. Crutcher, she was telling stories, telling me about, and I had also read the stories, but the first-hand account, of running down the street with her mother, being chased by white men, and you just had to read about the white community deputizing 500 people and being told to make it happen. These are and the deputies allowing it to happen. I mean, I would say that, the police force at that time allowing that community, the white community, to burn down a town and kill. Those are truths that you can't gloss over. I mean, that's the truth that gets swept under the carpet. That's what has to be. When you look at that in this painting, you want to know, who is that person? Why is there a white guy and they're holding a gun? Why are they loading bodies onto a flatbed truck? And when you start to do your research, you start to realize that's what happened. They loaded dead bodies onto trucks and took them to mass graves. That the white community made sure that they could, that they went into every house, and in every business to and destroy it. The whole goal was to destroy it and get rid of all evidence, and then to pillage what was in every one of those houses. That has to be addressed. You have to feel, as a white person, you have to look at that and be a little bit shocked that, wow, I don't feel that, but someone did feel that, and they did this, and that person, and the consequences of that action was what's right there in the center, which is a loss of a husband, a father, of a future.
You got the child clutching.
The child, yeah. Well, my dad died when I was 7 years old in Vietnam, so I never saw him. He never came back. He's MIA. And I remember my mom screaming, when they came over, and I remember what it feels like, what it felt like as a child to have your dad no longer there. The difference was I still had a community, I still had a house, I still had a family surrounding me, a military family. This child doesn't. To be that boy at that age and have this happen, you can't comprehend at that age what happened, except you were afraid. But when he turns 15 or when he turns 17 or when he's 20 years old, he'll start to feel all the pain that he's feeling at that moment. And as a viewer, I think it's important of public art that tells a story like this. You have to be able to put yourself as a viewer into that boy's mind, into that woman's heart and mind, and to feel the devastation of death, and you've got to be able to look at the white community, your community, and say, they did this, And
you also have that plane.
The airplane
as well, and what people don't realize is, they covered this in the 60 Minutes piece as well,
right,
that this was the first time planes had been used to terrorize American citizens.
Yes.
Not 9/11.
Yes.
What happened here in Tulsa.
Absolutely. This massacre.
And is the orange? Does this happen?
Well, see, the orange it represents fire, but obviously a lot of this fire would already be gone.
Right.
So I had to come up with a style that wasn't fire, but it felt like fire.
But didn't it also start after sundown? So you sort of have
Yeah.
sun setting.
Exa-
So it gives
Yeah,
both.
which is why you get that kind of long shadow. This is either early morning or late in the evening. But so
Right.
you just as a technique, you want your eye to go right to the people. The other story you will eventually learn as you look at it. But when you look at the immediate impact of this mural, I wanted it right in the center. I wanted all the lines converging into her, because that's the legacy. That's what happened. What happens after this moment on this porch? Who knows? I mean, was she able to rebuild? Was that boy able to go on and live a prosperous life? I don't know. But we as a viewer have to confront that and say, this can't happen. We can't. This kind of hatred, and we know it's still out there. I mean, we're not fooling anybody that there are still people with that kind of hatred in their hearts, and it's. I think the more you tell the story, the more people, like I do, after telling the story, I despise that hatred now. I mean, before you understood it was there, but until you really start to tell a story and feel the empathy of those that are affected by that, you don't, that's when it has an impact. And that's how, as an artist, I'm changed by telling these stories. I mean, and it's, I take incredible pride in telling the story, telling the Black heritage story, telling the Black story. I'm not Black, but as a human being, we all are, and if I can't get into that story, then how can we ever, move on?
On the side over
man.
here,
Sure.
you have a woman, looks like her daughter, that's
Right.
trying to escape.
Exactly.
And then you have this white folks pointing them out.
Chasing them down, get them, absolutely, because that's what happens. I mean, there's no denying that happened all day long. It's documented, rounded up, taken to wherever at the time they took them, or run completely out of town. And if you resisted, shot. So the word massacre is powerful, but the story of a massacre is even greater than the power the word gives, because you suddenly realize that this happened to human beings, and it only happened because the color of their skin. The hatred and the jealousy that it took to do that, I can't comprehend. As a human being now, it's impossible. But I know it happened, and you've got to capture that, and hopefully I did. I mean, that was my goal.
All right, I think we certainly appreciate it.
All right, absolutely.
Thanks so much for walking us through this.
All right, well, I appreciate it too, and it's my honor, actually.
All right, thanks a bunch.
All
I
right,
appreciate it.
you got it.